Joining a nationwide call for action on climate change this week. It's part of the first ever Great Big Green Week, which is why you've not heard of it before, because it's the first one. The Great Big Green Week. That's what's happening this week, including these children at Highfields Primary.
We made banners and posters with climate change. Solution, not pollution. If Earth sucks, then don't muck. We're going to be collecting all the rubbish and plastic. We've been making posters to hold up while we're on our march. And we're going to be having plastic-free picnic, things that don't use single-use plastic, and things that you can reuse over and over.
Recycle more and then don't litter.
Thanks to the kids at Highfields Primary. I like that. Solution, not pollution. Plastic-free picnics. That's all good, isn't it? Well, to tell us more, I'm joined by Lee Jowett, who's the Environmental Education Coordinator at Leicester City Council. Lee, good morning.
Good morning, Jimmy. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. So it's the first of its kind this week. What sort of events are taking place across the city and have done so far?
Yeah, so it's been really exciting. So Great Big Green Week's a national series event for our Climate Coalition. And in Leicester, we've been working with lots of our schools on lots of different things. So the first one that's been happening is a mini film festival at the Phoenix. So we've had a couple of films this week. We've got a couple more later this week. Yesterday, we had a big secondary conference taking place with some of our secondary schools. It's like a mini UN conference, and they had a chance to grill some of our councillors and senior directors. So, yeah, really exciting things so far.
Okay, and you've got this big one on Abbey Park on Friday, haven't you? What's happening there?
Yeah, so that's kind of the end of our exciting Great Big Green Week. So we've got over 150 young children and young adults from schools all over Leicester. We've got about 8 schools, including Highfields, that we've just heard from, which is brilliant. They're going to be marching from the bottom of the Golden Mile down into Abbey Park, kind of raising awareness of COP26 coming along in 5 weeks from now, plastic-free picnic, a few speeches, and then I think the most exciting bit is having a drone camera, and we're going to capture the students spelling out Green Week in the park.
Excellent. So drones are involved with helping you on this?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and you want the schools to make some noise, don't you? Who's going to listen to them? If they're trying to make some noise about this, who's listening?
Yes, absolutely. We want to sort of raise the profile with our MPs and certainly with our world leaders to kind of raise the profile and really the challenge where we need to ratchet up really the efforts for climate change, and certainly at the COP26 conference that's only, like I say, 5 weeks away from now.
Okay, and how do you keep the climate change message alive once this week's over? It's all great this is happening. I know COP26 is on the way, as you say, in 5 weeks' time. But it's much more than that, isn't it? This is a change that we all have to make and keep to. So how do we keep that going?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, there's lots of simple actions that individuals can do. Kind of in the city, we've got a real push around sort of walking and cycling, looking at renewable energy. One of the big things that we're starting this week that we're launching on Friday is our Green Heart Pledges, which is Green Hearts from Leicester. So we're encouraging everyone to sort of make changes themselves. They could be small, they could be big, depends who you are. And then we're kind of asking that pledge to sort of go to the world leaders and ask them to really make some of those big sweeping changes that we need.
What kind of things could we do now, Lee? You know, you've got people listening, we're talking about climate change, but what could we do now? And the reason I asked you that is yesterday I was talking to a guy who runs they've got offices in Leicester, they run a small energy company. And he was saying, well, one of the things you can do now is just stop using as much gas and making sure your home's better insulated and things like that. But what is it that we could start doing now, Lee, that would help the planet?
I think just find out what is possible out there. Certainly we've got the grants available at the moment to look at insulating your home. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but actually it's going to make the biggest difference. I know certainly I've been talking about climate change for 20 odd years since I was a student at school, but it really is about making those individual changes that we know collectively will make those big differences, and really talking to people about climate change and what you know and what you can take as an action, you know.
Lee Jowett, thank you for joining us, the Environmental Education Coordinator at Leicester City Council. It's 9:15. This song is